Good afternoon. Welcome to a fine Ohio afternoon in May. I hear they call it May because it may be hot, it may be cold, it may rain, it may snow, you don't know. I found this rock laying in my driveway, which I don't have that kind of rock in my driveway, so I'm thinking last time I spilled it out and didn't notice it. So we'll throw it back in this time. I've got some other rocks in my pocket I'm going to throw in too, so there you go. I evidently skipped a week. I see that this has been in for 2 weeks instead of 1 week, which a lot of people will tell you that means that my grit has probably broken down. And after the first week, it wasn't as effective as it would have been if I had taken them out and recharged it. But it sure didn't hurt anything, so not real worried about it. Nothing to worry about. And there we go. Last week to fill it up, or 2 weeks ago to fill it up, I threw in some carnelian and a few other kind of surprises I had laying around. So we'll see how that stuff's doing. So there's more than just river rock and tiger eye in there now. Last time I didn't have enough to start the lotto. I might this time. We'll see. Because I had some last time. I just didn't have quite enough. So we'll see how I did this time and whether or not I'm going to start a lotto batch. I'm leaving on my trip in about 18 days. So if I do start a lotto batch today, that'll probably be the last batch I do until I get back, which will be July 3rd. Here we go. Let's see what they look like. Nice. Well, my wife just pulled in, so that worked out well. If I'd have waited a little bit longer when she pulled into the garage, we'd have still been in there. I see some tiger eye that looks really nice. Might be ready to move on, we'll see. There we go. That's a fair amount of rock. I'm going to clean off the top of the barrel a little bit. Like I said, I'm only doing step 1 in this barrel. So I don't have to worry too much because I can't cross-contaminate because I'm always using the same kind of grit in it. But I also don't want, that is the harshest grit, and I don't want it tearing up my barrel. This barrel is a Lortone 12-pound barrel, and I've been using it for I think close to 3 years now. So I can't complain. I've gotten my money's worth out of it, but I'm not going to rush it to die just to get a new one. So I'm going to try to clean it the best I can. Get it ready for the next running, which I will put in once we get everything clean. Alright, looks to me like we're just about ready to go inside. So I will stop this and we'll go inside. Alright, we're inside. I'm going to check out some of these rocks. This one obviously not ready to move on, but like I said, it's just in there as cushioning anyway. This one's getting close. I like this. Got a nice, it's a nice big one. That's tiger eye. It's getting close. Here's some of the carnelian I put in. This stuff's been in for, as I said, 2 weeks. It's not ready to move on, but it's making progress. Looks a lot better than it did when I put it in there. Another piece of tiger eye. Okay, and the whole idea is anything that's ready to move on, I will add it in with what I had from last week, and we'll put it in a lotto if I have enough. This is interesting. This came from the river. I have no idea what it is. It's got an interesting coloration to it. I don't know if that's going to come through in the video or not. It's got a little bit of rough to it left. That might be one that I'll put in the lotto at some point. This is another piece that came from the river, from the Ohio River, that is, and it's got some cracks in it. And these black dots, I've had this kind of rock before, and I love the coloration of it, but the black dots don't ever seem to, they're holes, and they don't ever seem to go away. It's like if you wear it down enough to get rid of some, there's just more underneath. So it must be some kind of mineral in there, something that's soft and wears out easier or something like that. This is a piece of blue tiger eye or hawk's eye. It's getting close. It's getting close. This is some jasper I threw in there. Not ready to move on, but it was, I put it in to kind of see what we get from it. I like that outside of that. That's nice coloration. Piece of river rock. The river rock is mainly in there as padding instead of using ceramics, but I'm not opposed to going ahead and shining it up if I get a piece that looks good. Alrighty, I want to get out some of this. This is, I think, a really nice one. See if I can get the chatoyance on that. It's not quite ready to move on, but I like that piece. I think that it's going to come out really nicely. This one I thought might be ready. Oh, it's got a crack in it. It's got a crack in it. It's got another one there. There's one there, and there's one there. But that is a beautiful piece. I hope that comes through. If it looks half as good on camera as it does in real life, it is a beautiful piece. So hopefully get something nice out of that. This one had what I think you call it a vug. It's got little little hole in there with crystalline stuff in it. That's another one that's probably pretty close. Some of the other. Let's see what this. Ooh. Let's say this piece might be ready. That's a nice one too. It's got a nice look to it. I don't even know where I did. Okay, here's what I had from last week. And I also threw a piece of smoky quartz in there that had a little scratch on it. I've already done it a couple of times, but it's got a little imperfection on it, so I'm going to run it through just steps 2, 3, and 4 in the vibratory and see if maybe I can wear those away. This is a nice piece too, but it's got that big crack there. This is the one that I think 2 videos ago I talked about. Maybe I need to knock that edge off of there. And it's got a rough spot. Trying to focus on the tiger eye, the stuff that might be ready. This has a crack all the way across there. These bigger pieces, towards the end last year, I was cutting some bigger pieces just to see what would happen. It seems like none of them really came out like a lot of the smaller ones did. With a bigger piece, they all had cracks and stuff like that. So I don't seem to have had as much luck with those as I did with some of the smaller ones. Not that they're awful or anything like that. An imperfection in a lot of cases, I think, just it's the character of the rock. You know, they're not all going to be perfect. Well, as I've said a few other times, I don't think anyone wants to watch me do this for a solid half hour, so I'm going to stop the camera and I'll pick it back up when I've gone through all the rocks and when we set up for whatever we're going to do, whether it's just going to be another round in the rotary or the rotary and the vibratory. Okay, I'm back and I'm going to go ahead and do a run of Lotto. You can hear my son screaming upstairs, I believe. That rock's pretty interesting. I don't even know what that is. But in any case, it came out so far so good. We're going to see what it does. So I'm going to put all these into the Lotto. And I probably don't have as many rocks as I usually have. So I may have to add some more ceramics to it, but that's okay. I like to add ceramics on at the beginning of a run, so that way I'll wear it. The brand new ceramics I'll wear down a little bit in step 2, and then they'll be ready to go. The batch I've been using, some of the small ceramics are getting like really small. I'm thinking I might need to just start over. I don't know how small it can go, if that would cause any problems. I mean, it hasn't really caused me any problems, but we'll see. Okay, so that's all the rock. And we'll put in the ceramics. I'm going to move this over here. A lot of ceramics. A lot of ceramics. When I first got the Lotto, thank goodness I watched Michigan Rocks, because I would have thought, just like the rotary, that you only want to fill it to about 3/4 full. I think that might be the mistake that I made when I used my tumblers. I have a tumblers vibratory, which is much bigger than the Lotto, and I think most of the time I didn't fill it as far as I should. Now, let me see. It looks like you can see that this is definitely not enough. Okay, so I'm going to add a fair amount. Okay, this is the small ceramic. So there we go. I'm going to add a handful of that, and as small as that is, it will work its way down. I'm going to go grab a couple of handfuls of larger ceramic. Okay, we have a couple of handfuls of larger ceramic, and we'll shake it right down in. Which I didn't have any water in there, and I should have, but we can correct that right now. Fill that up with water. And I might even put a little more. Another handful in there. When I turn it on, it's going to shake down more. I mean, I can shake it down some like this, but when I turn it on, it's going to shake down a little bit more. And also, as you can see, when you tumble this stuff, you lose rock size. If you look, I'm a little over half on that, and it was at least 3/4 full, and I didn't take out, I took out, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 rocks, none of them very big. So basically, as you tumble them, they will lose size, so that's why you got to add in some. So now the next step is I'm going to have to add some rocks to this, and then I can start them both up. So I think I'm going to stop the video. I'll load them up, and then I'll set up over by the tumblers, and we can get these going. Okay, here we are. We're going to set up the vibratory, we're doing fine, so it's 120, 220 grit. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of it. I'm going to start it up first. There we go. Wasn't moving real well at first, but it seems to be mixing up and picking up a little better. So let's put in a little bit of grit. See how that does for us. And 2 tablespoons of 120, 220. I might have put too much in there. Let's see what it does. There, it's starting to go. I think sometimes it just needs to find its equilibrium. Right now all the big rocks are kind of clumped up together. As it tumbles, it'll probably move around a little bit, separate, equal itself out a little bit. Add a little water. A favorite topic on my vibratory tumbler is my rubber bands, and they are falling apart again. I don't know what it is. It seems like these rubber bands dry rot really quickly. Some people suggested I get a really small bungee that I could put over the top of this, and to be honest with you, I think somewhere down here I have a couple of those bungees, but I haven't yet gotten motivated enough to go track one down so I could use it. So I'm going to put a little more water in here. I'll cap this up, and I'm going to see if I can get one more use out of these rubber bands. And then I'll either have to go get some more or track down that bungee. Alright, I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to get the rotary bowl over here and we'll get it going. Okay, here we have the 12-pound, and what I decided to add is I have some black jasper that I've had some good results with before. So I'm going to throw some of this in and use it to fill up the bowl. I put some water in the bowl already, but I brought some more in case I needed it. I want the water to be up to about the level of the second highest level of rocks. I might have a little too much in there. There we go. I'd say that's filled up pretty well. I'm using straight 60 grit. So normally step 1 is 60-90. This is straight 60, so it's probably a little bit harsher than the 60-90. I use about 12 tablespoons. One scoop is 2 tablespoons. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say I might have a little too much water in there. I'm going to see if I got You know what? I'm just going to go with it. We'll see how it works out. Okay, so we're going to pop the lid on. Pop the outer lid on. Washer. Oh. I tighten it down a little bit. I give it a little push. Tighten it down a little bit more. And then we will put it onto the tumbler and turn it on. And there is the tumbler. So we'll put this on there. Fire up. And there we go. I don't know if I mentioned this in a while, but another thing I do is I keep a log of all this. And that's how, when I saw Wednesday 4/28 at 7 p.m. 12 pound, I knew I'd been going 2 weeks on the Lord. There we go. I got it focused. I'm back on. Okay, so anyway, I keep a log, and I'll write down now. Today is, I believe, May 12th. It's not going to focus on that. And I'll write down that I set up the Lotto on step 2 and the Rotary on step 1, 60, and then I'll have a record of it so I don't lose track. Alright, hopefully in about 9 days I'll have another video. I'll open up the Rotary again, and I'll be done with step 4 on the Lotto. That'll probably be about my last video before I take off. I'm going to be gone from May 30th until July 3rd. Alright, well, have a good one. Happy tumbling.